Hi everyone. Today I'm creating this video to hopefully get you to start thinking about attending graduate school upon graduation. The reason I do this is because, in my opinion, education is perhaps the only reliable way to financial stability and improving the quality of life, as my title says here. So, one of the things that perhaps comes in handy is that oftentimes when we're little, we want to be police officers, some want to become doctors, others firemen, others attorney. I wanted to be an attorney when I was younger. And eventually we grow and we find out that, we oftentimes don't do what we wanted to do when we were kids. But think about it, if you would have been a doctor, look at the earnings throughout the life. So, oftentimes, many people go into medicine because of the incentive of the payoff. And now the difference is, I'm not trying to get you to go to medical school and make a lot of money. You should go in an area that you like. And the reason is, have you guys ever had a bad doctor, for example, or a bad attorney, bad dentist? That's the person that went to medical school to make money, but not because he loves what he does. Or maybe that person that was the wrong attorney. So, what you want to do is, you don't want to be that bad doctor. You don't want to be that bad attorney that hates their job and really provides bad customer service, but there's no option, right? Look at the numbers over here on the left on this unemployment rate and earnings by education attainment. These are, I believe, from 2009. This is the unemployment rate that get, or how they get affected. If we start at the doctoral degree level, whenever we have problems, the unemployment rate is only 1.1 for people with a doctorate degree. Professional degree goes up a little bit more, and you're trying to think about, well, what will be a professional degree. Think of like maybe a public accountant will be a professional degree. Then we go to the master's level, and that increases a little bit to 2.0, bachelor's to 2.2, associate degree to 2.7, some college to 3.3, and then high school to 3.7, and basically no education of any kind, it will be 5.4. So the pattern here is that as we are having more education, the unemployment rate becomes smaller. The same thing happens on the right side over here. You can see that as we have more education, we earn more every week. The people with less education earn less. Now, here basically is the same thing, but these are, weekly earnings, if you will, and you can see gives you a picture that the highest paying rates are among doctoral degrees and professional degrees. Where I want you to start thinking is, I want you to start thinking over here at the master's level. Okay, so this is where you are right now, or you're going to be when you're done with school. How long does it take for you to do this? Well, you have done the biggest part. Look, a bachelor's degree takes a minimum of Fresno State takes 118 units. If you're really disciplined, 118 units is the minimum that you require. But in average, we'll say 120. 4 to 5 years. Some of you guys have done it in 4, others in 5, which is okay. 5 is the average now. They used to be 4. Master's degree level, it's another 40 something units. Okay. Now, if you go to Fresno State and you have done your undergraduate in the business school, you only have to do 36 units, which is really good. And then that will be 2 to 3 years, or maybe 1 year, okay, depending how you want to do it. The doctorate degree level could be another 4 or 5 years. It kind of depends on you, but in average it's about 80 units. Okay, so you can see that the most difficult part is getting the bachelor's degree done. If you are part of a minority, these are a little bit older statistics, but think about it. Okay, Bakersfield, Visalia, Salinas. I put this because I'm from Salinas, as you probably know. But you look at Bakersfield, Visalia is just around the area. This is the total population. And over here, for example, look at Visalia. This is the percent population that is Hispanic, if you're a minority. And this is percent of population that has a bachelor's degree. 6%. Very, very small. In Bakersfield, it is 5%. And in Salinas, for example, is 7%. So you're part of the minority. You really wanna look into this statistics and think about higher education for you. Here's Stockton as well, 7%, and then you got Modesto. Other things that I wanted to bring your attention to, this was a famous chart out there because according to the U.S. Census, in Fresno we are like number 2, for people with less educated people, if you will. Where the people with the highest education live? In Seattle, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. Anyways, this list right here is fairly big, okay? Now look at this list right here. It's also fairly big, but this is the bad. These are the cities with the less educated individuals. We don't want to be there, okay? So that's the reason why I'm creating this little video. In addition, education brings something else to you. You're probably thinking, what the heck does this have to do with anything, Mr. Martinez? Well, think about it. When you're educated, okay, you are more likely to not do this. For example, not park this way, right? You tend to be a little bit more understanding of other people, okay? You won't do any of this right here. In addition to that, it makes you more tolerant, appreciative. People will look up to you, maybe the neighbor, people that you know, family members, and oftentimes they will seek your guidance and you become a community leader where you live. So that's something that you might not notice, but it is important. Education brings you to that point. So the whole idea is that I want you guys to start thinking about education after you finish your bachelor's degree. The minimum that you should do is get a master's degree. That should be the minimum. I want you guys to look at this recipe that I wrote here. One of the things is stay in school. Be patient. Look for scholarships. If you don't qualify for scholarships, write down a letter to a business and see if they can give you $50, $100. Do not take shortcuts of any kind. This is really important. Shortcuts do not take you anywhere. Oftentimes you'll say, well, gee, I can create a short business over here. I don't need education. Yes, you might do really well, but if that business is no longer available or people no longer want to buy things from you or the service, okay, you're going to struggle and you're going to have to start from scratch. When you have education, you don't start from scratch. You start from where you left off, okay? Another thing that I want you to do is stay out of trouble of any kind, okay? So that includes citations, okay? No traffic citations. Don't go out there and get drunk and then all of a sudden you have something of an arrest on your record, okay? Try to stay away from tattoos, visible tattoos that will at one point or another be confused with, I don't know, some type of a gang tattoo. I mean, better off just not have any tattoos. Always do the right thing. It is important that you remember there are going to be places at work, with friends, acquaintances, where you attempted to do the wrong thing, but think about it, okay? I already have a bachelor's degree. Do I really need to do this? No, I don't. Always doing the right thing will bring you far. Try to be professional at all times. Try to do what is best, okay? Learn to manage your cash, your money, okay? It's important to stretch those dollars. And always learn, and learn. I'm going to create another video on these things, what I mean. But you want to learn a little bit about everything. You want to learn about what brand of vehicle you should buy and why you should buy it, something that will last longer. You want to learn a little bit about cooking. You want to learn a little bit about housing. You want to learn about real estate. You want to learn about health. Just a little bit of everything will get you very far. And in addition, as you learn, try to motivate your brothers, sisters, cousins, parents, neighbors to keep learning, go to school, and be persistent. And very, very important, stay coachable. When you gain more education, you become more humble. You no longer are the Mr. Know-it-all. So that's why I brought this screen over here telling you that some of these things are like this. If you find a wallet, you will do the right thing, okay? Because one, you don't need the money. Two is you know that that doesn't belong to you. And so it is important that you guys do that. So now you're thinking, well, gee, where do I go to school? If you are from Fresno or you're living in Fresno, you know, Fresno State has something very important. It has a really good MBA program. And so how long does it take? 36 units. You can do 36 units in about a year and a half, okay? It took 4 years for you to do 120 units to get a bachelor's degree. 36 units can be done in 1.5 years. You can do a GMAT and take the GMAT. However, if your GPA is 3.2 or above, Fresno State will waive your GMAT. This semester, fall 2020, they don't even worry about it. If you want to get into the MBA, they will admit you, okay? So another very, very important thing, whenever you guys go to school, of any school, always remember you need to have a school that is AACSB accredited. It is so important. That's the best accreditation in the world. AMBA is another one, the second one. So there's only 1.2% of the universities around the world that have this accreditation. That's why I'm telling you, you have a good business school here in Fresno. It's AACSB accredited. What do you need to get into Fresno State? You need 2 letters of recommendation. Applications are usually due July 1st for the fall. Okay, how much does it cost? Well, it's about $22,000. Okay, but remember, how much does it cost to get a car nowadays? A car is probably going to be at least $25,000 a minimum, a new car. And that new car is going to be 50% the value it was when it was new 4 years from now. So in 4 years, that car is going to be, if it was $25,000, okay, it's going to be $13,000. So just so that you can compare, UCLA MBA, it's about $110,000. Stanford is just tuition is $74,000, books and other things included. All right, so long story short, guys, okay, I want you to think about this. This is really worth it. Why do you need education? Because education is almost like a vaccine. You know, you don't know when you're going to need it. But when you need it, you already have that vaccine. Okay, so it's important. It's really good. You might be at work and all of a sudden say, hey, you know, that there is a position that it's available, but they require a master's degree. Well, there you go. You already got one. Okay. Another thing that it's important to remember is that education is probably the best investment that you can do in your life. Okay. So it is important that you think about it. Take your time, be patient. Remember this recipe. Stay in school. Okay. And then that way you can have a better quality of life.